Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic, Legend, Classic. This episode number, I think it's 2258, and Doubleshot number 2152. I got two epic collections for this one, and basically, like I said, Marvel. So, first one is from the Fantastic Four. The other is, of course, from Spider-Man. We have Fantastic Four Epic Collection Volume 5, and the name is Doom. I am Doom. Yep. So in these issues, we have issues 66 to 87, and number 6, and Not Brad Enoch, issues 6 and 7. Stan Lee does writing with John Byrne and Murray Sylvester on the artwork. The cover art for this trade here is done by the late Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott, and posed by Paul Mort. Back covers Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott. Mostly put in the case of a lot of these early issues. These issues are mostly focused on Ben Grimm. Like, first focus on him trying to cure his, well, let's just say his rock thing. They actually do succeed for a few issues. Johnny's relationship with Crystal continues in here. And we have basically the mad thinker manipulating the thing to tech Fantastic Four. This lasts for a couple issues here. Yep. Issue 60 and 60, about wraps up issue 70. And then they fight this green robot for the next few issues. Yes, this green robot attacks the Fantastic Four headquarters. Yeah. Yeah, then, well, let's see. Continues to 71. Yeah, basically what's going on with Sue is that basically she's pregnant. Yeah, then 72, basically the Silver Surfer shows up. Yep, the Silver Surfer is here. And then the Watcher shows up in a different attire than his usual garb. Yeah, he actually wear this in the 70s. So basically, Reed and Sue take a break and they try to basically, well, and of course, next couple issues, it's mostly put the Silver Surfer period here. Yes. And why is Silver Surfer here, you might ask? Well, he is here because basically his former master's calling for him. And then in 73, we have guest star, I'm thinking of Daredevil, Thor, and Spider-Man for a single issue. It's issue 73. Yep. Issue 74 is basically the debut of the robot known as the Punisher. No, it's not the Frank Castle Punisher, it's just a robot. I wonder if Frank Castle ever met these robots. Yeah. So the Punisher, the story's called When Calls Galactus. Yeah, that's input the whole thing here. The whole thing really is just basically a B plot while we basically deal with Return of Galactus. And this lasts for the next 2 issues. All seems as though Galactus is not like wearing pants. He wears a frickin' skirt. That's our Jack Kirby's are for you. And then we deal with some underground stuff here for issue 76. Yeah, and basically the reason why they're here is because, well, then next issue 77, excuse me, we return to the Psycho Man. Yep, he's back here. And while that's going on, we still deal with Galactus. Yeah, lots of Galactus here. And then 78, we have Ben Grimm and Johnny Storm take on the Wizard. Yeah. Marvel's Wizard, not DC's Wizard. That lasts for just a single issue. Yeah, then basically we started the subplot of 79 where, Ben Grimm's been cured. Oh yeah, he gets a smooch from Crystal. Yep. That was kind of like his first real kiss he's had since he was turned back human. And this lasts for a few issues. Of course, Sue Storm decided to take a step out of action because she's pregnant. Which, smart idea. You don't want to go to combat when you're pregnant. Well, probably. And 80 here return Wyatt Wagafoot. Yep. And it would take on this weird monster creature. Jack cover for you. And then it cuts to A number 6. A number 6 is noteworthy for, well, it's basically a Fantastic Four take on Nihilus, but it's a historical annual. You want to know why? Because it's the first appearance of Franklin Richards. He's not named here, but yeah, Franklin Richards, this issue is his debut. Of course, makes debut as a baby, obviously. Yep, the son of Reed and Sue Richards. Yep. And of course, apparently the concentration got into her blood, which is affecting the baby. And then by the end of the annual, he is born. Yep. Though he doesn't have a name just yet. Yet, for some reason, Sue takes a bit of time to give him a name. Do not know why in the world it takes so long. And in case you're curious, though, is Franklin named after his grandfather, Sue's father? Yes. That is 100% completely true. Yep. And then with the annual wrapped up, we have 7 more issues in here. We have the Wingless Wizard show up, and of course we have Crystal joining up with the Fantastic Four. And of course also a subplot involving the humans after they take out the wizard. Where in the humans issues, most of for those is just basically them trying to take down Maximus, who has taken over the throne with his grand, goofy costume. Yes, he designed this damn thing. Because basically he has launched a coup d'etat against his own brother he's the rightful heir to the throne. And this lasts for about a few issues. Yeah, then 84, they end up Latveria. Yeah, they end up with Doctor Doom. And then basically, this lasts for a couple issues. Yeah. We're going to close wrap up this one, don't worry. So, eventually they do get out of Latveria. Yeah, eventually by 87 they're out of Latveria and they go home. Yeah, 86 wraps up the story, and of course they say, oh yeah, there's a trap there. And then eventually they do get out of Latveria. Of course, Doctor being cheerful and basically, either he hates Reed Richards, he has nothing against his wife or his child at all. Have you named it? No? Okay. Yeah, that's something basically comes into play years later when he names the second child of Reed and Sue Richards, Valerie Richards. Yep. And then we have the comedy not breaking in the issues, mostly putting in the first one. It's we have a parody of, well, the wedding, a possible wedding between Crystal and Human Torch, which doesn't go very well. And then 7 is a parody of the first appearance of the Fantastic Four. An excellent annual. Love it. I give this annual a 10 out. This particular book, a 10 out of 10. Next up we have is Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection. This is volume number 8. Man-Wolf at Midnight. Yep. Yep. Everything here is written by Jerry Conway. Art by Russ Arju, John Mia Sr., who just recently passed away, rest in peace, Gail Kane, and Paul Remote. This book collects issues 124 and 142 and Giant Size Superheroes number 1. Excuse me, yes. Now, the first 2 issues, 124 and 125, is a 2-parter. Yes, this 2-parter is a debut of John James. Well, basically his full name is, I think it's John Jameson. That's basically Jameson's son. He becomes Man-Wolf for this 2-parter. And then when it comes to Giant Superman 1, basically Morbius basically just, makes him Man-Wolf again. Now, this was the first giant-sized book that Marvel did at that point in time. Spider-Man himself got his own, and it did not continue the numbering to start his own. Now 126 is basically the return of the kangaroo. Yes, the kangaroo. Oh, in case you're curious, though, this takes place period of it's definitely the 70s. It's from 1973 to 1975. Well, specifically, September 1973 to March of 1975. Yeah, then of course 126 is basically him fighting the kangaroo. Bless you. Yeah. Fights the kangaroo in issue 126. I think this is an early appearance of Joe. I think this is the first appearance of Jonas Hathrow. If you know who this guy is, this is the guy who basically created the cybernetization for Hammerhead and Kangaroo, and currently he's deceased. Why is he deceased? The Hood shot him in the head in New Avenger 60. Thank you, Private Companions, for killing him off. Yep. And then we have basically 127, 128. It's a two-parter where Spider-Man takes on the Vulture. And then comes, well, yeah, they basically, I think this is the third Vulture. Yeah, he appears for this two-parter. He's just some mad scientist who gets cured, and he's never seen again after this two-parter. Yeah, he just disappears. Oh, if I can get this thing to work properly. Okay. Okay, here we go. So, where are you? Here we go. Okay, so after this two-parter where they fights, and then we have a historic issue. We have a two-thing debut. We have the classic Amazing Spider-Man 129, the debut of the Punisher and the Jackal. Yep. According to an interview done by Jerry Conway, he was just creating a regular villain for Spider-Man, but he became so popular he became an anti-hero. I kind of talked about this before in like Punisher review I did for this, where I talk about this particular issue in particular. Yeah, this is just a debut of the character. It's not really much here, but it's debut of the Punisher. And then 130 basically is, well, Jack appears in this issue. Plus we have debut of the comedy that is the Spidey Mobile. Yep. Yeah, the Spidey Mobile makes its debut this very issue. Yeah, apparently was a project done by Human Torch and Spider-Man, which becomes basically a feature for quite a while. And then the issue ends with the most strangest cliffhanger ever seen in comics. We have Spider-Man witnessing the wedding of Dr. Octopus and Aunt May. Yeah, the reason why this wedding was happening. Oh, he's a great man of science. I just put on the Osborn's probably in his 40s. May is probably, I don't know, in her 60s. Yeah. The reason why? Because apparently Aunt May inherited a nuclear power plant. And it gets destroyed. And then 132 basically fights the Multiman. Yeah. He fights him for a quick two-parter. He always shows up for two-parters. That's the thing with Multiman. And of course, Multiman, in case you know who he is, he's Liz Allen's stepbrother. And after this two-parter, yeah, then we have the giant-size, well, superheroes featuring Spider-Man, where you have Mail team up with Morbius. I believe this is Morbius' second appearance in comics at this point after his debut. Yep, and then pretty much right after this, and then we have 134, where this issue is noteworthy for two things: the debut of the Tarantula and the return of the Punisher. Yep, he shows up at the end of the issue. Oh, and fun fact, when they start off the spin-off series, Peter Parker, the second time, they actually reference this two-parter in the opening issue. Because Tarantula appears, it also gets a fight with Kraven the Hunter. Yep. And of course, Punisher and Spider-Man team with each other. Of course, Jameson also paid like $1 million, $10 million ransom. Yep. So, they have this really good two-parter, which I think he would return like a few times after this, a handful of times. And then 136, 137, we have another two-parter where we have, this is the first appearance of Harry Osborn as the second ever Green Goblin. It's a quick two-parter that leads the destruction of the apartment of Peter, and Harry's apartment gets destroyed. A lot of part building too. So basically, so the very next issue, right after this battle happens, Peter is evicted from his own apartment by his landlord. Yep, he is in fact evicted. And then we have this. This is just a standalone issue after basically several two-parters in a row. It's basically him versus debuting character known as the Mindworm. Mindworm, very much a minor Spider-Man villain who got killed off in the 2000s by muggers. He appeared after this debut issue like 3 or 4 times, and that was it. Oh yeah, he starts living with Flash Thompson briefly, and then 139 and 140 is basically the debut of the Grizzly. Yep, the Grizzly. Yeah, it's the same character who teamed up with Scott Lang in the 2010s. Yep. Yeah, then we have basically 141 where it takes on Mysterio. Yes, Mysterio. Yeah, except this is not the original Mysterio, this is the second one. Quentin Beck was the original. This is a different guy who was hired by Jameson. His name is Danny Beckhart. I think he's still around, but I don't think he does much anything, and that's it. Yep. Absolute great trade. I love this one. I'm giving this book a 10 out of 10. It's pure awesomeness and finest. Here's a little fun fact for you. I have kind of reviewed the later issues in this book. Oh. Excuse me. Yes, I have. Mm-hmm. It's just what it's like. Now, there is 2 more trades that come out. Next one, Volume 9, doesn't come out until like a month from now. And Volume 10 doesn't come out until next year. So, there's like maybe a small handful of volumes left to go for Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection. But you'll find out and see what comes later stuff when it comes to that. Okay, so that is definitely going to be it for the review for tonight. And, well, that's the videos overall. So tomorrow, probably just a Comic Corner and another one Smart Fun. Maybe Doctor Who. Okay, next video. Bye.